So now
हरे
we can.
कृष्णा।
हाँ यस प्रभु।
हाँ प्रभु जी, वो रिकॉर्ड कर लीजिए।
हाँ खर्चा शुरू किया। हरे कृष्ण, थैंक यू, थैंक्स फॉर
थैंक
इनविटिंग।
यू प्रभु जी।
So in the last week we were discussing from 7th chapter, the middle section, wherein in the beginning Lord Krishna introduced about the importance of hearing, and then what is the subject matter of hearing, that is about Lord's powers and Lord's sweetness. Lord's sweetness is understood by Ananya Bhaktas, and Lord powers are supposed to be understood by all other devotees. So in the verse number 3, Lord Krishna kind of indicates that what is the sweetness of the Lord supposed to be understood. So it is said that Manushanam Sahasreshu Kachita Siddhaye Ertamapi Siddhanam Kachin Mamveti Satvataha. Because Lord's sweetness cannot be explained, cannot be mentioned in the Vedic literature freely. So Lord Krishna indicates that it can only be revealed to those who are chosen by the Supreme Lord. Such kind of people are very rare. But then, in order to understand the sweetness, one should qualify oneself. For to get that qualification, Lord explains about all his powers. So by understanding Lord's powers, one can become qualified to understand Lord's sweetness also. So those powers are explained in the next set of verses, from verse number 4 all the way up to 12. How Lord is all pervasive, how Lord can be seen in each and every aspect in our life, in the entire universe, that has been explained. After explaining that, from verse number 13 onwards, so then Lord Krishna says that in spite of Lord being expanded everywhere, but some people understand him and some people does not understand him. The reason why some people do not understand is they have been overflooded with the influence of three modes of material nature. But those who take shelter of Supreme Lord's lotus feet, they will be able to overcome the influence of modes. That's how he indicates. So those the people who are influenced by three modes of material nature are categorized into 4 groups. Namam Dushkritano Modam Pradante Naradama, Maya Apaharta Jnana, Asurim Bhava Mashrita. And these people will never surrender to Supreme Lord. But those people who have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord are again described into 4 categories. Artho Jignashur Artharthi Jnanicha Bharatarshaba. And these 4 people following the path of bhakti eventually will enter into Vaikunta. That has been mentioned in this set of verses. But one may say that, okay, I am neither atheist or neither a completely surrendered devotee. So then Lord says that there are some people who are in between also. They are theists, but not the devotees. Such kind of people worship different variety of devatas. Among them, some people are worshipping devatas because they have my hearts are overflowed with material desires. In order to fulfill their desires, they take shelter of various devatas. Kamaisteste ritagnyana prapadyante anya devata. Tam tam niyamastaya prakrutya netasvaya. So those people who take shelter of devatas, it is Supreme Lord actually helps them in all regards. It is Supreme Lord who gives them the faith upon those particular devatas. It is the Supreme Lord who inspires them to worship those devatas with their own self-made rules and regulations. And then it is the Supreme Lord who awards them the blessings through those devatas. Devatas on their own cannot do anything, because Lord is so merciful that even though they are worshipping the devatas, but the devatas are my different bodily limbs. Let me inspire them to worship those devatas. Let me give them the faith. Let me also give them the results. But ultimately, Lord concludes that Devan Deva Yejo Yanti Madbhakta Yanti Mamapi. But the devotees of the Devatas at max attain the planets of Devatas. But my devotees, by worshipping me with faith on me, they will come to my abodes, which are actually eternal. But the abodes of the Devatas are temporary. Thus, the Devata worshippers are called as Alpa Buddhaya, less intelligent. With that less intelligent, they cannot understand the difference between the Devatas and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But there are some people in this world, they are actually not even worship the Devatas. They actually worship impersonal form of the absolute truth. and they say that the form of the humans, the forms of the devatas, and forms of the Supreme Lord, whenever he appears in various incarnations, they are all a form of illusion. Thus, they deride the form of the Supreme Lord in the material world as when he appears in the form of avatars, and they say that it is only the absolute truth in its impersonal nature is the eternal truth. Thus, Lord says them that Abuddhaya, because they speak such kind of words, because they have not understood the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parambhavam ajananto mama avyayam anuttamam. Parambhavam ajananto. They did not understood my supreme nature, that my form, qualities, activities are all eternal. So that kind of nature they have not understood. Thus, Lord says that though I am unborn, they say that the impersonal absolute truth has taken birth in the form of avatars. But these avatars are actually illusion. Only impersonal Brahman is the final truth. Like that, they speak in various words. Mama avyayam. They never understand that I am eternal and all my attributes are eternal and they are unchanging and they are actually superior to all other existence, including the impersonal Brahman. This understanding they will not get. This is because they don't have any devotion to me. If at all anyone was to get the devotion to Supreme Lord, they need to have the mercy of the Supreme Lord or his devotees. So thus Prabhupada quotes a verse from Brahma's prayers in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, 14th chapter, verse number 29. Atapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugruhita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanyaya kopi chiran vichinvan. Prasadaleshanugruhita evahi. If at all one has to understand about the transcendental position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janati Tattvam Bhagavan Mahimno, the Mahima of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in truth, one should actually have Padambujadvaya Prasada Lesha Anugruhita Evahi. A small dust particle from the lotus feet of Supreme Lord should be obtained. Whoever obtains a dust particle from the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, a small mercy from the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, only they will understand the true nature of the Supreme Lord. Others will never understand the true nature of Supreme Lord. Prabhupada also quotes a verse from Yamunacharya. In the beginning of the purport, it is mentioned as Tvam Shila Rupa Charitai Parama Prakrishtai Satvena Satvikataya Prabalai Cha Sastrai Prakyata Deva Pramartha Vidam Manaste Naivasura Prakrutayo Prabhavanti Bodhum. Na eva asura and prakrutaya. The asuras, the completely atheistic people, and prakrutaya, the kanishta people. The prakrutaya means the people of this world who are bewildered by three modes of material nature or whose faith is governed by three modes. Prabhavanti na bodhum. They will never understand the prabhava, the transcendental position of the Supreme Lord. They will never understand. So even though they may read all the Shastras, even though they may see all the different deity forms, but they will never understand the transcendental position of Supreme Lord because they have not taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. So, thus it is indicated here. So, unless until we take shelter of Supreme Lord with wholeheartedness, we'll never understand the Supreme Lord. In that way, it is mentioned. One cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or his form, quality, or name simply by mental speculation or by discussing Vedic literature. One must understand him by devotional service. When one is fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, beginning by chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then only one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Non-devotee impersonalists think that Krishna has a body made up of material nature and that all his activities, his form and everything are Maya. These impersonalists are known as Mayavadis. They do not know the ultimate truth. Since they call everything related to Krishna as Maya, so Acharyas call them as Mayavadis. So they say that Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. It is only Brahman, the impersonal Brahman is ultimate truth, and everything else is Maya. So, like this, Prabhupada in different ways kind of gives a proper understanding that Mayavadis will never understand about the Supreme Lord, and Devata worshippers also will never understand about the Supreme Lord. Thus, they don't worship the Supreme Lord. Instead they take shelter of the various Devatas for fulfilling their desires and the impersonal form of the absolute truth as their ultimate goal. So Prabhupada says it's only by devotional service, by the mercy of the devotees, or by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, one can understand the true nature of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, one cannot understand about the true nature of Supreme Lord. So this is what is indicated in this verse. Avyaktam vyakti mapannam annate mama buddhaya parambhava majananto mama avyayam anuttamam. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. Such men are envious of the Lord. The truth about Lord Krishna and his transcendental position can never enter such confused and deluded brains. So,
हरे कृष्णा।
प्रभु जी।
प्रभु जी एक बात पूछना था, जैसे जो लोग सकाम जो सकाम मतलब मन में जो इच्छा लेके देवताओं को पूजते हैं, वो तो स्वर्ग नरक के बीच में घूमते रहते हैं।
हाँ,
एंड जो लोग सकाम मतलब कामना लेके कृष्ण को पूजते हैं, उनका वो क्या होता है? उनको वो पांचों मुक्तियों में से कुछ मिलता है या रस में भी मिलता है?
They will get 5 kinds of liberations, but with Sukha and Aishwarya above. They don't get the mukti in the form of intimacy like that of Rajavasis. They get mukti in
Okay.
Vaikuntha, so they will be able to worship the Lord also, but in Sukha and Aishwarya.
Okay.
Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanaman Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many lifetimes of such practice, they will understand that Vasudeva is everything. Then they will go back to spiritual world with the mood of awe and reverence. There, they will worship the Supreme Lord primarily in Shanta and Dasarathas. Some of them may also worship him in Vasalya, Sakya, and Madhurya Rasas, but with awe and reverence, not with intimacy.
प्रभु जी, ये ओनली ज्ञानी कैन गो देयर, और ये मतलब आरती अर्थार्थी एंड जिज्ञासु हैज टू फर्स्ट बिकम ज्ञानी एंड देन ही कैन गो, और समथिंग एल्स?
Yeah, it is like gradual progression. The Artho, Arthartha Jignasu, they have to become Jnana Mishra Bhakta, from Karana Mishra Bhakti to Jnana Mishra Bhakta, and from there they will enter into Vaikuntha.
Okay.
Eventually, they have to give up all the desires to get something in this material world. They should have only one desire to get the Lord as their goal. That is the goal of Jnana Mishra Bhakta.
Then and only then one can go.
Yeah, obviously.
ठीक है प्रभु, थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Direction. So here in this verse, it is mentioned, thus, apart from my devotees, everyone else is foolish regarding knowledge of me. With this intention, Lord speaks the verse number 24th. The unintelligent think that the formless Brahman beyond the material world has taken birth by Satvik karma as the son of Vasudeva with an illusory form which is visible. They treat Lord Krishna or Lord Ram as one among us. We take birth by our karma, and they say that Krishna has taken birth because of his Satvik karma as the son of Vasudeva. Rama has taken birth by his Satvik karma as the son of Dashrath Maharaj. Like that, they say in those terms. Because they do not know my transcendental state, they do not know that my form, my birth, and my activities and my pastimes are beyond Maya. It is eternal and most excellent without beginning and end. They don't understand that my form, my birth, and activities and pastimes are actually eternal without beginning and end. This understanding they will never have. That's why they come up with all the philosophies that Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, etc. So such kind of people will never understand the Supreme Lord. So that is what is mentioned. Now we'll start today from verse number 25th onwards. So before starting, anyone else has any question from the previous two sessions? Yes, Prabhu. Little louder if possible. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
It is said in one of the purports that while performing bhakti in the initial stages, one go through impersonal ideas and later on go with the personal ideas. So what do you mean by that?
No. The impersonal ideas are people who are following other philosophies. They will tell. So it is for the yogis who are not able to meditate upon Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. They were suggested that they can meditate upon impersonal form or the universal form like that. But Prabhupada never recommends that the devotees meditate upon impersonal form. Impersonal form is those who have not received the mercy of devotees or not received the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They try to meditate upon impersonal form, not the devotees.
प्रभु जी,
Yes, Prabhu.
एज यू जस्ट टोल्ड कि जो ज्ञानी और वो ध्यान योगी है और ज्ञान योगी है, मतलब he accepts भगवान feature also,
Yes.
but he cannot meditate on that feature.
Yeah, he has developed attachment towards the absolute impersonal absolute. I mean, what is that? Sahyajya Mukti. They want Sahyajya
Okay.
Mukti, so they make Sahyajya Mukti as their goal. In that way.
But he accepts Bhagwan.
Yeah, everyone accepts. Any person who is practicing a bona fide path prescribed in the Vedic literature, they all accept Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan features. But they develop attraction towards a particular feature. The Jnanis develop attraction to Brahman, the Yogis develop attraction to Paramatma, and the devotees develop attraction to Bhagavan. But it is only the Mayavadis who say that the Paramatma and Bhagavan features are Maya.
Okay.
And they will never attain any perfection. Little louder, Mataji. I'm not able to hear you. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, any of the devatas can help us in our devotional service. For example, Ganesha is supposed to remove obstacles in the path of devotion.
See, Lord Krishna says many times in Bhagavad Gita and also in Srimad Bhagavatam. So even though if one has any desire to fulfill anything to take, they can directly worship the Supreme Lord. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradi tivrena bhakti yoga nejata purusham para. So here specifically in this chapter and also in the 9th chapter, Lord Krishna actually in a way says that those people who have no knowledge about, who have not understood about my transcendental knowledge, about my transcendental position, they generally worship the devatas. So we have already began our devotional service in the by the mercy of our Acharya Varga, Guru Varga. So we don't have to go after worshipping the devatas to get devotional service. We can worship the Supreme Lord, the previous Acharyas to get bhakti. But that doesn't mean that we should neglect the devatas. We should worship the devatas as devotees of the Supreme Lord. But we don't have to go to different devatas to get what do you say, the fulfillment of different desires, etc. So in that way we should be careful enough.
Prabhuji, does that mean that the devatas were actually created by the Lord to satisfy the material desires of non-devotees?
Oh, no, no, not like that. The devatas are meant to maintain the universe. Just like we have our own family to maintain, the entire universe is the family of devatas. They are meant to maintain the entire family. In our family, we respect our elders who are our guiding for people and who are our maintainers. Same way, we should respect the devatas also. So, but for bhakti, we don't have to follow after devatas. We can follow devatas just like they are our elder devotees, elderly devotees. So, in that way, we can follow in their footsteps. But we don't have to completely depend upon devatas only for our bhakti. Just like in our family, we have uncles and aunts who will also help our fulfillment of our desires. So, like devatas are like that. So, in that way, we should always see the devatas not as the fulfiller of desires. Instead, we should see them the devotees who are also worshipping the Supreme Lord in their respective capacity. So, in that way, we should respect them and we should take guidance from them whenever possible.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
As Krishna says that only by he can invoke faith in the worshipper, so that applies to even Shiva also, that Shiva is also not able to invoke faith in his follower. He also dependent on Krishna.
See, Prabhuji, one simple question. Who is Paramatma in our heart?
Krishna.
It is Vishnu or Shiva.
Vishnu.
So, it is Paramatma who inspires faith to us. Because it is mentioned in the 15th chapter, Sarvasya chaha murdisannivishto matta smrutir jnanam apohanam cha. It is he who gives us faith. It is he who gives us knowledge. It is he who gives us the memory. So it is Paramatma who inspires us to develop attraction to so and so person, so and so deity, whether it includes even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva also. So it is Paramatma's prerogative to give a faith upon a particular deity.
Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, सायुज्य मुक्ति is only possible with ब्रह्म और भगवान में भी सायुज्य मुक्ति होता है?
नहीं. Even for Sayujya Mukti also one need Bhagavan's mercy. Without Bhagavan's mercy one can never get Sayujya Mukti also.
नो वो तो है प्रभु, लेकिन मतलब जो मतलब मिलना होता है, सायुज्य होता है, वो केवल ब्रह्म के साथ ही पॉसिबल है या भगवान में भी मिला जा सकता है?
नहीं. सायुज्य मुक्ति मतलब ब्रह्मन.
ओनली ब्रह्मन.
हाँ, भगवान के साथ आपको सारिष्ट मुक्ति मिलता है. सारिष्ट मुक्ति में you will only get the opulence of Vaikuntha. You will never have the association of the Supreme Lord. You will never have the opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. So from that sense, that is also kind of Sayujya only. It is Sarishti, but location at a far distance in the Vaikuntha planets.
Okay.
One will get all the opulence of Vaikuntha, but one will not get the association of Lord Vishnu, and one will not get the opportunity to serve the Lord directly. So that is
और
Sarishti.
प्रभु जी, सामीप्य मुक्ति जो होता है वो ये जो मतलब प्रेमी भक्त होते हैं सारे और पांचों रस वाले, उनको सामीप्य भक्ति मिलता है?
नहीं. Even the on reference also will get Samipya Mukti. In Vaikuntha, there are no Premi Bhaktas. They are all Bhaktas of on reverence. They will also have Samipya.
Okay. ठीक. Thank you, Prabhu.
I think we'll go ahead. Otherwise, the questions will go on. So we'll continue. We'll start with the 25th verse. So here it is mentioned that the non-devotees as well as the devotees cause your appearance in this world. So here the question by Arjuna is, you appear sometimes for the welfare of the devotees and sometimes to kill the asuras. So how is it then that you are visible only out of mercy to your devotees? If you have eternal form, eternal qualities and eternal pastimes, then why do we not see these things at all times? So when Lord said in the previous verse that my form, qualities, activities, they are all eternal. Mama, avyayam and anuttamam, they are transcendental and also, so then they should be visible to all at every time. Why Lord only becomes visible at only some point of time? That is only to the devotees. Whenever Lord appears as Vamana, Narsingha, Kurma, Varaha, during that time only, for small time period only, is visible to all the devotees only. The asuras, though they may see the Lord, but they will never understand that he is Lord. They will treat him as an object of envy, as a person to be killed, etc. etc. So that's how Arjuna asked this question. Why it is so? You only appear for certain time, only for the devotees. Why not for everyone if you are eternal? Then Lord Krishna gives the answer in the verse number 25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavruta moodoyam nabhijanati loko mamajam avyayam. Can someone read the translation?
I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible.
So specifically Lord Krishna says that specifically those Devata worshippers and the worshippers of impersonal form, for them I will never appear, because for those people I am covered by my yoga maya. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavruta. Because I am covered by my yoga maya samavruta, moodo I am na abhijanati. These moodas, the alpa buddhaya and the abuddhaya, will never understand me. Loko mam ajam avayam. Even though I am unborn, I appear in this world. Whenever I appear in this world, they never consider, they will never understand me as the Supreme Lord. They will treat me as one among them. Though I am transcendental, avyayam, I am unchanging, they will treat me as a person who is going through all the changes like themselves. So that is what Lord Krishna says in this verse. The Alpa Buddhaya, the Devata worshippers, the Abuddhaya, the worshipper of the impersonal form, will never understand me, will never understand my transcendental nature, because I am covered by Yoga Maya. That's how Lord Krishna says that I cannot be understood by those people. So herein Prabhupada writes that, Prabhupada gives the example of Shishupala. Even though Lord Krishna was there in the assembly of the Rajaswi sacrifice, everyone has chosen Lord Krishna as the first person to receive the Argya. But Shishupala actually offended Lord Krishna by speaking so many offensive words. So that in that context, Prabhupada says, he was not revealed to the non-devotees and the common man. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that, but for his pure devotees, all men consider him to be like themselves. He was manifest only to his devotees as the reservoir of all pleasure. But to others, to unintelligent non-devotees, he was covered by his internal potency. That is called Yogamaya. So then Prabhupada quotes the prayers offered by Maharani Kunti. In first canto, chapter number 8, Kunti Maharani offers various prayers. In one of the prayers, she says that, Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrute Param Alakshate Sarvabhutanam Antar Bahir Avastitam. Though you are situated within as Paramatma, outside as Bhagavan, but many people does not understand you, because you are situated superior to Prakriti. Ishware Prakrute Param. And then she further says, Maya Javanika Channam Agnya Dokshajam Avyayam Nalakshase Mudadrusha Nato Natyadaro Yata. Whenever you appear in your various avatars in this world, You act like a human being. Nato natyadaro yata. Though you are the Supreme Lord, you are transcendental to everyone, but you act like a human being, just like a person plays a particular role in a drama. So you acting as human being is also a drama, because your drama is so mesmerizing. People does not understand that you are the Supreme Lord. They will treat you like one among themselves, one as the human being. So this is how sometimes Lord is misunderstood by people of this world. Even Prabhupada quotes a verse from Ishopanishad, Mantra 15. Hiranmayena patrena satyasthapihitam mukam tatvam pushnam apavarunu satya dharmaya drishyaye. He says that the person who is reciting the prayers of Ishopanishad, they say that, my dear Lord, you are covered by your impersonal effulgence. So kindly show me your form, because you are covered by brilliance. I cannot understand your real form. Please remove that impersonal effulgence. Thus we will able to understand you like that. Thus the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his transcendental form of bliss and knowledge is covered by the internal potency of Brahmajyoti. And less intelligent impersonalists cannot see the Supreme on this account. So that's how Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada quoting these two verses from Bhagavatam and also Ishopanishad describe that the Supreme Lord's transcendental beauty is covered by his impersonal effulgence. Thus, some people cannot understand his true nature. So then here this verse is explained. I am not manifest to all people living at all times and at all places. I am always present with my associates, qualities, and pastimes in some universe at some times, just like the sun. Just like sun rises in the morning, stays till the evening and sets. Similarly, Lord appears in some particular avatara with all his devotees, qualities, and pastimes, and perform those pastimes for some time and then disappears. So like that, it does not visible at all times. Even within my effulgent abodes, Mathura and Dwaraka, being covered by my Yogamaya, I am not visible constantly, but only sometimes. It is said that Lord Krishna, even now, he is there in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwaraka, but he is not visible to our normal eyes. He only appears to his intimate devotees whenever he is supposed to appear.